we're walking around thinking that we're just this one thing separate from everything around us. To me, awakening is the initial sort of jolt out of that reality. And you have this little sort of impulse, like, wait a minute, we're not in Kansas anymore. This is not what we always thought it was. You know, you have a sense of, you hear a voice that's not there. You see something or an energy, or you have an idea that you're in two places at one time. Whatever these really crazy experiences are, makes you realize that you're actually bigger than what you think you are. Definitely different than what you think you are. Some people have it through drug experiences. Some people have it when they go through a windshield of a car. Some people get it when they're about to die. Some people get it after running 20 miles in a marathon and have this moments of oneness. And if you talk to people, it's always a sense of bliss or a sense of serenity that they don't experience in their normal life. To me, that's awakening.
Everybody's spirituality is unique. It's a very personal thing, but spirituality can also be incredibly exclusive.
Yeah. I
have, grave misgivings about religion and spirituality. No, I don't even know about the path.
Well, there are clues though, right? I mean, I talked to some of the people here and it seems like a lot of people come to some kind of spiritual path through either really fed up with the system and how life is, or intense misery and pain.
Yeah. Well, I would say the thing that gets people on the spiritual path more than a mystical experience is suffering. But the difference between people in a place like this and the rest of the world is that the people here know they're suffering. Most everybody else doesn't.
Every person has got the body they're supposed to have. Once they get it, they now have the environment to work towards the resolution of making known the unknown, to work towards taking that talent and amplifying it, taking this affliction, finding a cure, taking the affliction and know what it is to be ill, or know what it is to be toned down so that something else in you can rise up. All things are gifts. Whatever way we're formed is a gift. It's capital to be alive.
Mystics, spiritual people have a part to play in this time of transition in the world. It is no longer appropriate to renounce the world, to turn our attention away from the troubles of the world. I use the phrase awakening to oneness because it seems to have to do with this global consciousness that we are being aware of on the outer level, or being aware we live suddenly in a global era. We have the internet, we have cell phone communication everywhere in the world almost. We're all connected, we're all one. This is this global oneness. But I began to realize it's not just to do with communication, it is really a deep inner awakening in the earth. That the earth is going through a transition, and that people who are, if you like, you can say spiritually awakened, or who have an access to a different understanding, have a part to play in it.
You have to do a lot of work, because the enlightenment, all it does is shifts your perspective. It doesn't shift your personality. So you can actually get enlightened and be an asshole, which we see all the time. People kind of have these experiences and they think they're someone special. But the whole problem with the world is we all think we're someone special. We have no connection with nature, with each other, with animals, with plants. That's why we're destroying everything, because we're special. The gift of awakening or enlightenment is to kind of realize your oneness with everything, which is in fact reality. It's not some cute new agey hippy-dippy thing. It's reality. We are one. You know, just like if I look at my hands, there's you and there's me and there's our neighbor. It's really one hand. So the idea of awakening or enlightenment is to kind of realize, wow, these fingers are attached to the same hand. But in our reality, this is all we see. So there's you and there's me, and there's the idea of separation. Awakening does that. Enlightenment is that.
We are facing perhaps 10 years from now a tipping point, beyond which things will have been set in motion that will be irreversible. And so there is a quickening all over the world of people who are awakening to this interconnectedness and who seek to find some way to express it. The real question is going to be, can we put aside our sectarian differences, our ethnic and tribal and national hatreds, and can we find a way through to recognize that all of us must get through if any of us are to get through.
If God created everything, what did God create it out of? Itself? Himself? Then how can that which created us from itself ever judge us when it would be effectively judging itself? Jesus is the one that said, you know, kingdom of heaven is in you. The God that's in me is the God that's in you. The Father that's in me lives in you. What I can do, you can do far greater. Well, that's a wonderful inheritance. But of course, nobody ever told you you could do better work than Christ.
What does the normal guy working an ordinary job do? I would first say that I don't think there's anything such thing as a normal guy. I think if you really know what a human being is, we are all divine. We have forgotten it, it's covered over. And I think you would find something in your life that is precious, that has meaning. Carl Jung, he said, find the meaning and make the meaning your goal. Maybe it's being with your kids an extra half an hour a day. Maybe it's you like to bake cakes, but you've never had time. And to do it with attention and with love. Mother Teresa said this beautiful thing. She said, small things with great love. It's not what we do, but the love we put in the doing. Because then we give it to God, and He makes it infinite.
I would say the biggest misunderstanding about the spiritual path is that people think they're going to gain something. Spiritual path is about dying. It's not about gaining. Now that sounds so horrible in our culture because our culture is based on acquisition, on gaining things. That gives us more power. Spirituality is just the opposite. It's about letting go. That's all we got to do is let go of stuff every day. Let go of who we think we are. Let go of what we think we need. We don't know what's good for us. We have no idea. Is the thing that you're doing, is it helping you die more? Is it helping you listen more to who you really are underneath what your mind is doing? Then that's a good thing. Are you more peaceful? Or are you more agitated, and are you wanting more things? Are you having a power struggle? These things have to really be examined.
If you have a question about where you stand on some aspect of your own conscious pilgrimage, be conscious of how you respond when someone from another religion or ethnic group is speaking. Because it's within those little micro minutes, like microseconds, that little space of time between the stimulus and the response, that you really gain insight about who you are. And the only way you can change that is to become conscious of those and to reprogram yourself.
There are places in our world that are very, very dense, that are completely covered over by materialistic thought forms. And if you live in those places, it is important to have a simple practice, whether it is awareness of breath, remembrance of God, loving kindness, to keep your own spiritual integrity alive. And if you do that, then you will find help comes in the most unexpected ways, because everything is God.